What's up, everybody? It's me, E-Man from E-Man's Movie Reviews, and today we're going to review Queen and Slim. Let's get right into a quick intro. A young couple goes on their very first date. However, things drastically turn for the worse after they get pulled over by a police officer. Enough of that, let's get right into the good.
The good.
I think Lena Waithe's writing is probably one of the strongest positives for Queen and Slim. I found the dialogue in this movie to be rather intriguing in a number of ways. The first way was how authentic the character exchanges felt when they interacted with each other. Another way was found in the nuanced social commentary that was sprinkled throughout the film. I appreciated how the movie didn't come off as preachy or all in your face with the commentary. So what would happen is we'd get either sayings or stories or rhetorical questions that I believe were meant not only for the characters to think about, but for us, the audience, as well. I think an added bonus was the representation of multiple perspectives, which demonstrated the variety of views within the Black community. Furthermore, the main characters were provided with a lot of material to really help them develop as the story progressed. Another benefit from the writing was a really enticing plot. I loved how this movie wasn't overly predictable. There were some twists and turns and some shocking moments that might surprise you. Besides that, what I thought really worked for the story was how it was presented in a straightforward manner with an allegorical touch underneath. I also loved how the story focused primarily at humanizing both Queen and Slim, and at the same time utilized the social impact of their actions to develop all around them. So while Queen and Slim were dealing with their own personal issues, the world around them was reacting on its own accord without Queen and Slim's intentional impact. Allowing the characters to be viewed as either villains or heroes, depending on the perspective at the moment, made this all the more compelling of a watch. When it came to the acting, I thought we got some really good performances from both the main leads. Daniel Kaluuya and Jodie Turner-Smith had really solid on-screen chemistry together. I think that both of them were able to bring out a level of growth and or maturation that the writing desired from their characters. In terms of the supporting cast, I think that Bokeem Woodbine was a nice surprise with his role as Uncle Earl. Rather than just being a gimmicky character for comic relief, I liked how his character actually had a little bit of complexity to him to make him a little bit more interesting. Enough of that, let's get on to the bad.
The bad.
One minor issue, I think there are some moments in Queen and Slim that kind of dragged a little bit, and it just made the movie feel a little bit longer than necessary. There were just a few scenes here or there that just kind of lingered on, and I just think that they could have been tightened up just a little bit. However, the length and pacing really isn't that big of a deal unless you're expecting this movie to be some type of crime thriller. Now, where this movie fell kind of short for me were in about like two scenes that just didn't seem to add up. Without going into spoilers, both the gas station scene with the gun situation and the protest felt both kind of odd and unrealistic. I'm not sure what the intentions were for those scenes, but after thinking about the movie as a whole, those scenes felt more like they were intended for shock value and or added tension. I didn't really think the gas station scene added any real substance to the story or the characters, and the protest scene, well, it just kind of felt like a reach. I think that while this movie is fictional, it was still attempting to be grounded in some level of practicality in American society. So to put those unrealistic scenes in the film just didn't seem to gel within the context of the movie. But enough of that, let's get on to the reason.
The reason.
Queen and Slim is a humanizing love story that explores an honest and uncompromising portrayal of the fears and the journey of a Black experience in America. The film takes a very specific fear within the Black community and expounds that fear to a very pragmatic conclusion. This movie was not what you may initially expect it to be from the trailers, though. It wasn't a Bonnie and Clyde type of movie, even though it does certainly have some similarities for sure. It also was not a movie that glorified killing cops or painting them in a bad light. Queen and Slim is a movie about two people who are caught up in a terrible situation, and we all get to see it through their perspective and society's. Now, I'll admit, this movie actually did capture one of my personal fears of being a black man in America. Sadly, the climate in today's society is a real concern for minorities, especially when it comes to police relations. So having a movie depict a seemingly harmless situation go terribly wrong definitely struck a chord that I'd imagine many minorities would never wish to partake in. I think it would have served the film a bit more had it dug a little deeper into why Queen and Slim had to go on the run, because I would imagine that some viewers might miss the complexity of the situation from both a legal and societal point of view. Nevertheless, what makes this movie so interesting to me is that the social commentary is one that I think everyone can benefit from to some degree. This film really gives us all an opportunity to challenge our own potential implicit biases through various characters in the movie. I think the best way to approach this film is with an open mind, because this movie is not trying to be what you may expect. So when it comes to the rating for Queen and Slim, I've got to give it an 8 out of 10. Queen and Slim was a great watch, and I definitely recommend watching it in theaters. I had the opportunity of watching Queen and Slim with a predominantly black audience, and I gotta say, the reactions were pretty interesting. When the movie was done, people were talking and everyone had a different opinion about the film. And in my experience, if a movie can really get people talking, I think it's actually done its job, and it's probably a sign of a good movie. Anyway, what did you think about Queen and Slim? If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it, come on back to this video, and let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you all think about this film. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I always appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.